Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's another episode of To a Woman's Heart where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. Make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're a woman who has a business, slide on over to twowomansheart.org, brand your business, network, share life moments with others. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And then we have t-shirts that speaks to the heart of a woman. Stop by to a woman's heart store. I am so happy you are here. I hope all is well with you and your families. It's been a good day, even though it's still cold, because I'm waiting for the weather to break. I am so happy when it breaks, get a little warmer. All right, so tonight we are going to be talking about walking in the shadow. And as you know, I always start off with definitions. And so the word we're looking up today is shadow. So the first definition, first of all, shadow is a noun. The first definition is a dark area or shape produced by a body coming between rays of light and its surface. Trees cast a long shadow, silhouette, outline, shape. Second meaning is used in reference to proximity, ominous, oppressiveness, or sadness and gloom. The shadow of war fell across you, a cloud, black cloud, pale gloom. The verb version of shadow means envelope and shadow, cast a shadow over. The market is shadowed by St. Margaret's Church. Overshadow, cast a shadow over. The second verb meaning is follow and observe someone closely and secretly. He had been up all night shouting a team of poachers, follow, trail, and track. All right. So walking in the shadow. Now, I know walking in the shadow sounds a little gloom and it sounds a little doom. I understand that and I get it. But what we also need to understand and realize is that a lot of us walk in somebody else's shadow. We lose ourselves in somebody else. And so if you think about a shadow, when you walking and you see a glimpse of light that shines on your body, and then while that glimpse of light is shining on your body, you see a silhouette of who you are that reflects off of the wall when that glimmer of light shines on your body as you're walking. Then you see your shadow. And sometimes if people are not paying attention, their own shadow will scare them. It will really scare them because we don't really stop to look at our shadows all the time. We don't really stop to pay attention. It's only when we take a glimpse of it that we realize that our shadows are there, depending on how the light hit. And so in life, we as women, we uh, get consumed by the shadow of other people. In a sense, we kind of lose ourselves in the shadow of other people and the shadow of truth. That's true. We lose ourselves in the shadow of truth. And when you mention the shadow of truth, that means we kind of sugarcoat it. We don't want to address the reality of the truth, but we'll try to overshadow the truth and try to make it seem like it's something else when we really don't want to hear the truth. Pretty much. That's casting a shadow. We cast a shadow over people's, over individual successes. We cast a shadow over that. We talk down about it. We don't want to be uplifting to them when it come down to them being successful. We want to overshadow that. And some of us overshadow things because we like to be the person that is in front and center. We like to be the center of attention. And if we can't get the center of attention, then we don't want nobody else to have it. So we'll overshadow some things. Another way you can overshadow some things is over talking somebody. So they won't tell what you think they're about to tell. So instead of letting them get what they got to say out, you start talking extremely loud so your voice carries over the person who's actually has a solid conversation, because you don't want to hear it. And you say, yep, putting out the truth doesn't mean it's non-existent. It doesn't. It's still the truth. So you can put off the truth, but the truth speaks for itself. And what we should realize, I've seen people do that too. What we should realize is a lie is a job. I don't care what nobody say. A lie is a job. Because if you tell one lie, you got to tell two. If you tell two lies, you got to tell three. If you tell three lies, you got to tell four. And each one of those lies you have to keep up with. And believe me, if you constantly going to different people, you're not going to keep up with the lies. So why not just go ahead and tell the truth? And have you ever noticed nobody try to overshadow a lie? They don't make no effort to overshadow a lie, but they will make an effort to overshadow the truth. Because you know why? We as individuals, we don't want to hear the truth. We prefer to listen to the lie versus listen to what's right and what's the truth. You can't run from the truth. Hurt me with the truth instead of protecting me with a lie. I totally agree. But you know what? A lot of people cannot and will not tell you the truth. And a good analogy is, and I'm sure we've experienced this, you go to the store, you go to church, you at work, you come out the bathroom. The back of your skirt is stuck in your clothes, right? You have people that know you at work. You have people that know you at church. And 9 times out of 10, if you in the store, you're not in there by yourself. They know you have somebody that you're with at the store. But believe me, people will let you walk around knowing that your clothes are stuck in the back of your tights, your pantyhose, or your underwear, and won't say a word. 9 times out of 10, the person who would tell you that your clothes is stuck will be a stranger. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. So love me enough to tell me the truth. And I say this all the time. Love me enough to tell me the truth. I don't want to live in nobody's shadow. I don't want to lay in nobody's shadow. I don't want to walk in nobody's shadow. And I don't want to be consumed by nobody's shadow, because I am an individual, and I hope you are an individual. I love you too. I hope you are an individual, but I'm telling you, a lot of women, even in relationship, they get lost in their husband's shadow. They get lost in their man's shadow. And when you say they get lost in their husband, in their man's shadow, they lose their voice. They lose their place. They lose their position, and they lose a sense of who they are as an individual. And when I say they lose their voice, everything that he says, he does, it becomes about him. She no longer do what she wants to do. She no longer goes to places she want to go. She no longer speaks up for herself. So now you are consumed by the shadow of who you're dating or who you married to. Thank you. Or who you married to. It's overshadowed. And a lot of women have been consumed by their mate's shadow without even realizing they've been consumed by their mate's shadow. They don't even realize it. And one way you can tell is when everything he does is more important than what you want to do. And you pacify everything that he wants to do, and you negate what you want to do. That's pretty much some of being lost in his shadow. And it's easy to do. I know the Bible says when you marry, the two becomes one. I get that. But the two becomes one on one accord. The two becomes one when you have common goals you're trying to achieve. The two becomes one when your dream and his dream are the same and you want to get to the same destination. Now, you may strive to get there on different lanes, but the end result is you're coming together as one and you're going down the route to get to that same goal. Where you lose your shadow is it's okay to get lost in Mima. Mimas can get lost. That's fine. Because Mima has a purpose and a place. That's a special gift that God has given Mima. So you Mimas can get lost. But we as women have to stand on our own 2 feet. And because you marry somebody, because you date somebody, does not mean you have to lose who you are. It doesn't. When you was born, when the doctor told your mother that she was pregnant, you were not you were not in the womb with the man you're gonna date. You were not in the womb with the man potentially gonna be your husband. You was in the womb by yourself. That means once you was born as an individual. Now, as you mature in life and as you grow, you are still that individual. And a lot of relationships go left, they sink, is because we lose ourselves, we lose our voice. And it ain't just got to be in relationship and dating with a man or a husband. It can be in friendships, it can be in families, it could be in jobs, because you can lose yourself in your family. You can put everything about you off to the side, and then everything becomes your family's problems, their issues, what they can't get, how they can't get it, becomes something that consumes your life. And you forget about who you are as an individual. You forget about your needs. And then you start having these headaches. You start having these upset stomachs. You are stressed. You're not feeling your best. Worry about other people. That's walking in the shadows. God did not design us to walk in the shadow of others. Even in marriage, he said walk beside. He didn't say walk in the front. He didn't say walk in the back. He said walk on the side. So why would we allow, and some of us are not aware until we talk it out, until we hear it, until one day we wake up and we have an aha moment and we realize that we have been walking in the shadows of others. Even in our workplaces, sometimes we walk in the shadow. We're fearful to speak up to our boss. We're fearful to speak up to our supervisor. We'll tell it to our coworkers, and then they'll go back and lie on us and say something else and make it more than what it is, not realizing that you are your own. Nobody can represent you better than you. Nobody can speak up for you better than you. And you know why that is? Because nobody knows truly how you feel except for you. And nobody can verbalize those feelings, those emotions except for you. And we should understand the value, our worth, and what we possess within us. Every woman has a unique strength that I guarantee you that she has not totally tapped into. I guarantee you, she haven't totally tapped into it. I got some strength that I haven't totally tapped into. You know why? Because as I talk to you, I talk to myself. I've let some people overshadow me too. Because you say to yourself, I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't want to address that. I don't want to deal with it. And you know what? They keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And all you do is compress it down. And then you get to a point that it becomes a boil. And then it get to a point that it becomes a bubble. And then it gets to a point that it becomes an explosion. Now, when it becomes an explosion, that means you have had enough. And you're not taking it anymore. You're not dealing with it anymore. So to prevent that by not walking in individual shadows, and sometimes you have to talk to yourself. And ain't nothing wrong with talking to yourself, because I do it all the time. And as of late, I do it a lot. But it's my self check That's me saying, I'm not dealing with that. And why I'm saying it? Because I don't have to. Is my voice important? Yes, it is. How I feel is important? You're right. It is too. So don't let nobody minimize your voice. Don't let nobody take it away. It does not take anything away from you. It does not make you a mean, cruel, evil black woman, whatever they want to categorize you to be. It makes you a strong, powerful individual when you can stand firmly on your 2 feet and say, not today. No, I'm not walking in your shadow. I'm not walking behind you. You're not walking on me. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to speak up for myself. And a lot of us could have avoided the relationships we're sitting in right now if we had a spoke up for ourselves before we got to the altar, because there is nothing wrong with throwing the fish back in the water, especially if it's a bad fish. Unhook that rod, unhook that bait, and throw his behind clean back in the water. Throw your family member back in the water. Throw your so-called friend back in the water. Throw your co-worker back in the water too. You don't need that. Life provides us enough stresses and strains. Paying bills. Figure how you gonna pay the light, the gas, the mortgage, the car note, the car insurance, to feed the children, to buy clothes for your kids, to wash, to cook, to clean. That's enough to consume you right there. So why would we feel the need to put ourselves in position to be in somebody else's shadow when we got our own shadow? Because if you was meant to walk in somebody else's shadow, you would no longer be an individual. Your name would no longer be your name. You would share their name, because pretty much you giving up, and some of us give up ourselves. We give ourselves away. And a lot of it, I keep saying this and I pray that we get it. A lot of this that we deal with come from what happened in our past. Family dynamics was not that great. Traumatic things happened. Words were spoken. Someone treated you badly, and it took something from you. It took something from you without you even realizing that those pieces were missing. And that's a thing on the website called the pieces of puzzle. The pieces of the puzzle are missing. Do you know what piece it is? And I said, in the pieces of the puzzle, in every relationship, where it's family, where it's friends, where it's dating, whatever it may be, when that relationship dissolves, there is a piece that they take from you without you even realizing it. And when they constantly, each relationship, if they take the piece of you, you don't realize it. And in a sense, it's kind of breaking you down. It's kind of breaking you down, because look at a puzzle. When you take it out the box, say it's 50 pieces. Those 50 pieces put together form a perfect picture. It's a beautiful picture. But as you move that puzzle box from location to location, you find when you go back to put that puzzle together again, that some pieces are missing. Same thing in our lives. As we go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, we lose some pieces of who we are. We lose a little bit of confidence. We lose a little bit of self-esteem. We lose a little bit of our voice. We lose a little bit of how we feel about ourselves. We lose a little bit at looking at ourselves differently. Variation of things that we lose from ourselves. And the best thing we can do is to figure out what those pieces are and put them back on our puzzle board and make our puzzle complete again. And I guarantee you, when you find out what those pieces are and you get them back, you will feel like a brand new woman, and you will feel so much freer, because with those pieces of the puzzle, it got baggage that go along with it. Those pieces have baggage. People have said things that hurt your feelings and never apologize. People have talked about you behind your back and grin in your face. And this is when we soak back into the shadows, feeling the way that we feel, not realizing that we start to walk in shadow, or we're starting to allow others to overshadow us in certain areas. We're better than that. We're worth more than that. The thing is, we just have to get to the point where we realize it and we understand it. Each year we grow, we evolve, we get better, we get better. And each year we grow and we evolve. We're supposed to learn something about ourselves that makes us better. And I know some people, may be quiet, they may be shy, they may not know how to use their voice. Well, practice in the bathroom, looking in the mirror. But at some point in time, if you don't stand up for something, you're going to fall for a whole lot of stuff. So, who is the best person to fight for you, them or yourself? The best person to fight for you is yourself. That's the best person that can fight for you is yourself, because nobody is going to fight as hard for you except for you. And let's put another analogy on it. So you feel like your voice is not being heard. So say you got a cell phone bill, right? Your cell phone carrier, and say your bill is like $70 faithfully every month, right? Then all of a sudden the bill jumped from $70 to $120, right? So you knowing that the bill should be $70, but all of a sudden it jumped to $120. You didn't add anything, you didn't change anything, you didn't purchase nothing new. So the bill should still be $70, correct? Correct. All right. Do you go ahead and pay the $120 and say nothing? Or do you feel the need to speak up for yourself and call that company, tell them, no, y'all need to fix this. Something is wrong with the bill. It was $70 and now it jumped up to $120. See, we use our voice in certain situations. And in the situation that we should want to use our voice, that is the time that we don't use our voice. We don't use it. And so you let the companies overshadow you. You let your family members overshadow you. You let your spouse or your mates overshadow you. And sometimes we even let our kids overshadow us. We let them run rapid, do whatever they want to do without any consequences. Now you start walking in their shadow. And this is where the roles start to reverse. Now the children become the parent and you become the child. How does that work? Please explain to me, because I'm not understanding. I'm not going to carry anything for 9 months, go into labor up to 2 days and some hours, and let it get up to an age where it can talk and walk and it overshadow me. It overrule me as a parent. It tell me what they are not going to do and what they are going to do, and I'm going to be okay with that. That's not happening. No. You pay for the lights, you pay for the gas, you bought the bed they sleep in, and you put the roof over the head. And at some point in time, we have to step from out of the shadow, remove ourselves from the dark cloud, and step into the sunshine and the light and do what we need to do for ourselves. A lot of our lives will be so much better. We will accomplish so many things. We can make so much progress if we step from out of the shadow of somebody else and do what we need to do. Here's another shadow we are in. When it comes down to building a business, we let somebody overshadow our thought process. We let somebody overshadow our vision. We let somebody overshadow our dreams of what we have perceived to be a great business idea. And then we let somebody overtalk us and talk us out of what we wanted to do. You're not walking anybody's shadow. You're walking in your own shadow. You're walking down your own path. There is nowhere in the Bible that God says that you should walk in anybody's shadow. So why do we feel that it's okay? It's not okay. I don't care what type of relationship it is. Family, friends, dating, or married, working. No. There is a way to say what you say, and a way to say how you want to say what you need to say. There is a way without letting it weigh you down, because the more you think about it, the more you ponder it, the more you meditate on it or concentrate on it, the more angry, the more frustrated, and the more upset you become. Understand me when I say. So, ladies, all I'm saying to you is don't walk in nobody's shadow. Walk in your own shadow. Create your own path. Look towards your own destiny. It's a self journey. You can't get, when you're walking in somebody else's shadow, you're walking at their pace. You're moving at their pace. You're thinking at their pace. Everything is done contingent upon them. You are no longer your own. You are no longer yourself. You are um swallowed up by somebody else. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And a lot of us probably say, well, I'm not swallowed up. I do such and such and no. Stop making excuses. Call it what it is, because that's what it is. You're living by somebody else's direction and their voice, their guidance. And you don't have no direction, you don't have no voice, and you don't have no path of your own. You don't. There cannot be two drivers in one seat. It's only one seat that holds one driver. So how do you think the car would really stir right if two people were sitting in the driver's seat? Because you know who's going to be the controller? Not the person that's sitting on the bottom. The person that's sitting in your lap would be the controller who's driving the car. That means that the person at the bottom is the shadow. You're driving in somebody else's shadow because you can't see where you're going. You don't know where you're going. You can't stir to get where you're going because you're in somebody else's shadow. You're sitting in that seat at the bottom and somebody is sitting in your lap. They have blocked all visual view. You don't see nothing. You can't even experience anything. You don't know where you're going because they are the leader and the guider of the direction in which you are going to go. That's walking, that's laying, that's driving, that's sitting in somebody else's shadow. And you may lay down with somebody that you live in a shadow. Same, let's go there. Let's go there. I'm gonna go there. Even with sexual activity. Some of us won't say what we don't like. Some of us will say what we will like, but most of us won't say nothing. No, you're not getting your knees made, but you just lay there. But if the roles were reversed and somebody else want to speak up about anything in a relationship, don't you think they would speak up? So why don't you feel it's necessary for you to speak up? And what happened in your life that caused you to lose your voice, that you feel like you have to walk in somebody else's shadow, give up who you are as a person, lose your confidence, lose your self-esteem, lose your strength, lose your power, lose your value, lose your worth? What has happened to you that you feel like you need to walk in somebody else's shadow? You're an individual. You was born a baby girl on whatever date, whatever month, whatever year, whatever time of day, whether it's early morning, early afternoon, or late evening, or late night. But you was born by yourself. And as you grew up in life, you grew up doing things by yourself. You learned some things about yourself. So what happened somewhere in your life that you lost yourself in the shadow of somebody else? What happened? Something had to happen somewhere down the line that you lost yourself in who you were. And again, I'm going to go back to the car. There's only one driver's seat. You're sitting at the bottom, and the leader, the guider, the director is sitting in your lap. How can you see where you're going? How do you know where you're going if you're sitting on the bottom and somebody's sitting in your lap steering the car? You will never know where you're going. And they are leading you blindly because you're blind and they can see. Now they take away your freedom of choice. They're taking away your decision making. They're taking away. So you have a decision to make. Are you going to continue to walk in the shadow of somebody else? Or are you going to be bold enough, brave enough, confident enough, strong enough to step from behind somebody else and make your own path? Because that's what this is about. That's what this is about. You're not going to get to your next destination until you step out. It may be a little fearful. It may be. It may be a little scary, but it's okay. Step out and do what you need to do. That's all I'm saying. This is all about you. It is your journey. It's your journey. It's not about anybody else's journey. It's your journey. And only you can stir, can direct, and can change the path of your journey. Nobody else can do that but you. All right? So, some things you can look at, some things you can pay attention to, and it's very important to pay attention to it. It's very important to pay attention to it. We don't pay attention to a lot of things, and we should. And I say this again, free yourself. Free yourself. Whatever it is, free yourself. Stop living up under somebody else's rules and regulations. You're an adult. An adult should talk to another adult like they're an adult. They should talk to you like you're an adult. You're not the kid. Grown folks have been raised already. And if you ain't been raised, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go back and talk to your mom and your daddy. But you've been raised already. You cannot re-raise another grown person. But you can look within yourself and see what it is within you that you need to work on, that you need to change, that what you need to be better. And one of the things is walking away from somebody else's shadow and let your shadow and the silhouette of who you are shine through, because you are an individual, and let nobody take that from you. So somebody said in the comments, I'm a vibrant light, and you should be a vibrant light, but the light cannot shine behind somebody else. The light will shine on them before it shine on you, because they are blocking the light to shine on you. So you want the light to shine on you. That's not being boastful. That's not being prideful, but it's stepping in your own light, letting your light shine so somebody can see the light that's within you. Don't let nobody put a cup over you. Don't let nobody put a lampshade over you. Don't let nobody put a bag over you. Don't let nobody put a blanket over you. Don't let nobody throw a coat over you. Don't let nobody stand in front of you to cover up your light. Step out, step away from, step into, and walk into your own path. All right? All right. Make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. I hope this message has provoked some thought process, may help you to look at some things differently, help you to value who you are as a woman, and help you to appreciate the voice that you have. And if you haven't used your voice in a while, I encourage you to start to use your voice. It's very important. Make sure that you share this stream with others, because you never know how it would help somebody else. Okay? Going to be working on something. I was talking to a young lady, and I'm thinking about doing a virtual, I guess you call it a conference or a seminar. So I'll be checking in to see what you ladies think about that. And if I do it, it will be You will have to send an email to a woman's heart at gmail.com. And once I create it, I will send a link to get into this private session. And we will be able to conversate. It will be a no judgment zone. No topic is off limits. We're going to be very respectful of one another, and we're just going to talk about it. Because sometimes we need a place where we can go to and just vent and just talk about some things without being judged. And whatever conversation happens in that stream, it will stay there. All right. We'll be trying to do this giveaway to learn how to work this tool. But again, on all social media outlets, if you want to be a part of this giveaway, let me know, because I need a certain amount of individuals in order for it to work. And so just let me know. Again, go to the social media outlet, toawomansheart.org. Brand your business, network, share life moments. Let me remind everybody, I see a lot of men trying to get on. It is not, To a Woman's Heart is not for men. It is for women only. The social media outlet is for women. Okay, I will be going and removing any advertisement of business from a man. It will be deleted. All right. And make sure you go to toawomansheart.store and t-shirts that speaks to the heart of a woman. All right. And if you have some topics and some conversation you would like us to talk about, feel free to email me. Or if you want to be a part of a stream and you have something that you want to share, then feel free. Email me at toawomansheart@gmail.com. All right, ladies, I thank you for being patient. I thank you for tuning in faithfully. And I even thank those who will watch it on replay. All right, talk soon.